Hello guys. Right, after a bit of a problem this morning, trying to get my PC to work. I don't know what it was. I got the stream all set up, and then my PC just restarted randomly. There I am. The game's just starting now, so should be good. I've got everything else all ready to go. So as soon as I can get into the game, we can start setting the plane up. We're only about 20 minutes late, so not too bad. So yeah, hello and welcome. Oh, right, there you go. Hello and welcome to the stream Christmas special today. Flying from Newcastle down to Rovaniemi in northern Finland with a 737 from Fly2, which is Fly UK's holiday thing. So, yeah, just waiting for the game to start. The stream's been up like 5.5 minutes, so, yeah, well, the first few minutes are going to be a bit boring, aren't they? But, you can just skip. There you go, game's into the menu now, so I can start setting it up. Woohoo. Turn on the desktop audio as well. It's an absolute joke. But it's quite common for flights and for FSX to take an absolute age to start. It's because of the Airsoft A320 I have installed on Steam. Because as soon as I uninstall it and there's no add-ons on Steam, it starts instantly. So, oh well. But obviously I do need the A320 because I fly it quite often, so can't really live without it, so just have to deal with it. So, but today we're flying the 737. I was a bit sort of like, oh, should I fly it? Because the last two streams, if you can remember, I haven't streamed in a while, because I sort of lost interest in streaming it. This game, I've been playing it, but I've been playing it with less detailed planes, because to be honest, I've had enough of using the 737, because if you remember, the last two times I've used it, the Delta flight I did, which was about mid-October, it was, the sound went really weird, if you can remember, and then on the second flight it was okay. And then I did a Eurowings stream. On the first flight, I couldn't click any of the buttons on the plane, and then I reloaded it in for the second flight, and it doesn't work at all, and I could never ever reload it in, and I could never get it to work, so that's how that is, basically. So the reason we're flying from Newcastle, I searched on Fly UK's website where to Rovaniemi they were flying today, because Rovaniemi is the closest Lapland destination to the UK. The other one is Avalo for Fly UK, and that's a bit further away, so I wanted to do the closest possible one. And it was Cardiff, Newcastle, or Gatwick. Don't want to fly from Gatwick. Cardiff's a bit far, so we're going to Newcastle. So that's why we're going from Newcastle. Let's go ahead and click fly now. We are loading into the game so I can get the display capture turned on. There you go, you guys can see something other than just, a boring old screen now. Because the game's actually working, which is always good. It's always lovely when the game works. 8 minutes into the stream. And I can start planning this flight. So, we're going to be doing it on Vatsim. Again, I haven't flown on Vatsim for quite some time. So, should be an interesting one to do. Got a plane heading into Newcastle at the moment. Where is it? It's from Heathrow. It hasn't actually left yet. Okay. We're good. Please say this plane's working. Yes, it's working. Okay, I'm not going to bother doing the GSX update. Also, another reason I haven't been doing a lot of flight sim lately, there's been this weird bug that's developed on my flight sim, where when I right-click to change views, it can cause some problems. So it can crash the game for some reason. I don't think we're going to have any problem today. But I'm not going to bother going into these views. I am going to use the ones I've set up. So I'll go ahead and... I'm positive it was already pre-done, but maybe not. Buttons, keys, and then it was... should be F9 and F11, so... somewhere around here. Simulator events? It's not an event, no. I've completely forgotten why I found it last time. Views. That's actually kind of obvious. So we've got... should be two of them. There should be... here you go, virtual cockpit, F9. I was clicking F9. Oh, great. Okay. Nice. I've clicked F9. It should just be default F9. Okay, I'm going to have to use the mouse and just hope it doesn't crash on us. I do think, though, it does only appear to happen in freeware aircraft, not the paid ones. So, hopefully it'll be alright. I don't know why that's not working. I'm just going to have to ignore it, I guess. And just really hope that it doesn't break. Be like, please. Is this thing I can assign it to on my joystick? New assignments. What don't I press on my joystick? That's elevator trim. Elevator trim as well. I didn't even know that was used. That's the view. Landing gear. Release droppable objects, whatever that is. Flaps. Flaps. And view next category. Alright, I'll assign it to this then. And I'll delete the other one that's button 2. Unless it did it automatically. It doesn't even work anyway. Okay, whatever. I'm just going to have to use and hope that it works. I'm going to have to use the right click. And if it crashes, oh well, we'll have to finish the stream. FSX has not been kind to me lately. Right, connect to Vatsim. Call sign Skyways 2. What was it? It was 2922. 2922, whatever you want to say. And we're B738. And then connect. So there we go. And we'll file our flight plan. Like that. And we can get on with actually setting up the plane, which we've been waiting to do for absolutely ages. So let's go ahead and get GSX started up, request boarding. And number of passengers is 138? Yes. 138 passengers. And then I go handling my EasyJet apparently. Is this thing in? Yeah, this thing's in pounds, that's good. So let's go to the fuel. I'm going to get the fuel plugged in straight away. We're taking 2749. So we are going to have some in the centre tank, I think. Yeah, we are. So I'll make sure those fuel pumps are off. And the seatbelt signs and all that needs to be on. I've forgotten where they are on this aircraft. That's how long it's been since I've flown this aircraft. Where are they? There you go. I need to get obviously the APU turned off, and we need to get onto ground power. So ground connections, ground power connected. I need to go to that, click on that, and then turn the APU off. Pitot heats can go on straight away. Emergency lights armed. So I can't remember how to fly this plane, luckily. I'm able to fly it without, completely going wrong. Right, doors. I remember you have to close this one, don't you, and then open it again. Because the game's a bit strange like that. The cargo doors are already open. We'll open the doors again. And then I can go to payload. So payload got 138 passengers, so no one in first class. Not expected. Right, start flight. On Skytrack, that started. Cargo, we've got £3,600 of cargo, so tries to do the maths. It's 1,750 in each. That comes to 3,500. Did I say 3,500? I don't know, that's enough. Anyway, it's enough. So, go on to the doors page, that's that sorted with. So, now we need to go into the FMC. Got AirAC 1913, which is the latest. Good. I remember this thing has the thing I can type in on, like the Airbus, which I can't type in on. So going from EGNT to EFRO, which is Rovaniemi. We are FL2922 for the flight number. Now onto the init pages, I guess. We're going from... Actually, no, should I fill in the route first? I think I should fill in the route first. So we're departing UGNT from runway 07. Absolutely nothing else other than that. So we're going to Rovaniemi. Oh, that's the wrong button. This directs to Rovaniemi, and then we're taking oh, actually, I'm doing this on the wrong page. UM82.
Thank you.
What do you mean not in database? Great. UM82. I'm running the latest one. Oh, great. Okay, so there's something's gone wrong here. Should I try UN82? Okay, something's gone wrong here. What's gone on?
How are you? I'm doing good.
What waypoints are there? Oh, it's literally direct to Rivot, is it? Is it direct to Rivot anyway?
Hello.
Is it really just direct to Rover anyway? Which is why it's not recognising it. Let's have a check. Where's the route? I'm trying to find the route. I forgot I was scrolled down further than I thought. Okay, scroll up to the route. It is Rover. It is direct. Why are we for? It's direct. That's why it doesn't recognise it.
Hello. Thank you.
It's direct to Rivot. And then we're taking... It's direct to a Lottie, isn't it, really? UM89. It probably doesn't recognise it. Hey, why don't I try UM890? No. Okay, so it is, again, direct to a Lottie. Because, I've just checked. And then it's direct to Osvig. It is actually direct. And then it's direct to Oscock. Oh, wrong button. Why do I keep hitting that button? And then it's direct. Is it literally just the whole flight's going to be direct?
Morning.
And then from there, we're going to Itipu. And then direct to Mismo. Mismo? Yeah, Mismo. And then it's M607 as far as Nemgu.
Morning.
That's the route plugged in there. Right, now you can go on to the performance init stuff. Oh, weight should just... Oh, I forgot, yeah, you can click the weight down there. Reserves, I'm just going to put 2. 26 is the cost index today. Very random. 350, the way it's working today though, we're going from 350 as far as Osvig, and then we're going up to 370. So a little bit of a step climb. 270 at 25 is the knots of wind. Transition altitude is that. There you go. We'll go with a slight takeoff D rate. Flaps 5 as usual. Pop all that stuff in there. 4.86 is the trem. There you go.
Morning.
I don't bother fitting out that other page because it's actually irrelevant, because we've got no wind and we've got no slopes at all, because it's FSX and it doesn't simulate any of that unless you buy add-ons. So, actually no, the TCAS doesn't need to be on yet, what we're doing. So we'll set this to V2 plus 15. So that is, what is V2 plus 15? Let's have a little look. I can't find it. Take off. They go 145, so we've set this to 160. ALNAV? No, ALNAV and VNAV don't work yet. That's because I haven't turned on the flight directors.
Thank you.
It might work now. No, they don't. Okay. We'll set this straight up to our cruising altitude because it's got no restrictions or anything like that. I'm probably missing out something I need to fill in, aren't I? Let's just check every page to make sure I haven't done something wrong. Because it's honestly been so long since I've flown this plane. It really wouldn't surprise me if I did something wrong here. Why can I... Oh, it's someone else, that's why. I was like, hang on, why can't I hear AI? It seems okay in terms of the not crashing thing. I'll try not to go outside very often. Obviously that will help. But I'm connected to Vatsim, everything's all working like it should be. And we can start up the APU. I should have done that earlier, possibly. And the lower panel. Turn those on. Packs off for engine start. There's that classic sound of the plane. Right, anti-collision lights can come on now, I guess. Position lights can go on. The fuel pumps can all go on. Because I'm going to be starting the engines very soon. And then we need to put in our arrival down in Rovaniemi. I haven't actually looked at the wind. Let's have a look. I tried to check flight radar, but there's no flights going in and out of there. 150 at 7 knots, so it's going to be runway 21. So, and we're doing the Nem 1 Charlie. That's that one there. So pop that in there. Get rid of the discounts. That's all of them. Is the APU fired up yet? Yes, it is. I think. Yep. That means I can turn off the ground power. And it means I can turn off the wheel chocks. Chocks away. And then back into the FMC and put it on the progress page. Lush. So what we'll do now is we will ask for pushback. So let's go outside. Where we want to go? I'm guessing left. Yes, we want to go left. Don't want to start engines before pushback. Right, I'm just really hoping this flight sim doesn't crash on us when I right click. I'm quite nervous about it because it's been doing it. Oh yeah, auto brakes RTO. Right, let's just run through this checklist, make sure I've done everything right. Flight controls, flap stabilizer trim, start switches. Oh, I forgot. Stupidly silly captain there. And we've got landing lights, retracts, all that sort of stuff. So that's all expected. Right, we can turn the TCAS on now. And we haven't got a squawk code, so we'll just stick with that. I want to set this to that. There you go. So if I check this now, we should only get an electrical fault. What are the others? Oh, like aircon, because I've got the
departure check completed.
I've got the pack still off.
Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
And off we go.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, so what we need to do, we'll start engine 1 first. Get engine mode down there turned on. And LNAV's not working, but VNAV is. That's expected. So that means we've set everything up correctly in the plane, otherwise it wouldn't be working. Good. The step climbs are a little bit weird. It says here that, like, on this thing, see, it is a little bit, like, in the top right of your cruise page, there's a step 2 line. Yeah, and I need to enter in 370 to that. Step point. No, not now. I might be able to put in Osvig, I might not. No, I can't put in Osvig. Oh well. that's just there ready to put in, basically. I need to enter that when we pass Olsvig. And I haven't been paying attention, because the fuel needs to go into this engine and we need to start the other one. I also haven't been paying attention then, have I? That one's now started. We need to introduce, oh, I forgot, you need to introduce fuel at about 25% N2.
Set parking brakes.
Right, approaching, there you go, 24, introduce fuel. And then we need to put it straight into continuous after that. So, set the flaps to, I think, 3. Right, it should be good now. So this is, are they both started up? This one's basically started up, hasn't it?
Unlocking gear.
So I need to wait for this to go into off, and then I can put it into continuous.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin.
Turn that on, APU off. We've got no, so that's all good. We've got no warning lights up there. We'll see if we've got any warning lights on the dash of the plane. We don't, so we're good. Charts here at Newcastle, using ChartFox, the excellent thing. I like to get charts from any website. For most
Left is
airports,
clear. Right is clear.
not all. They've got most of them. So we've got, but I managed to find Rovaniemi and Newcastle. So pushing back, literally straight down that taxiway, and we're off. So there's nothing we need to do. Actually, that reminds me, we need to turn to Unicom. I totally forgot about that. 122.8 is Unicom. Boom, put that in there. So, go on to the sim brief page. The live streaming page is all good. Yep. Just checking. So, they're walking off. Good, it's not crashing, so that's good. I'm really, really scared of that happening. Please don't crash. Oh, it's a pain when it happens. Right. Going from with 07, so set the heading to 070, roughly. And off we go. Oh, I haven't flown a plane with this yoke for ages. I miss doing it. Right. Let's get on our way to Rovaniemi, which is a place name that I'm the only one who seems to be able to pronounce around here. Have a competition for it at some point, maybe. No. Christmas games. And obviously, hopefully we'll meet Santa Claus down in Rovaniemi. We probably won't, because it's a flight sim, so he won't be in it. But, you know, it's his fictional home, which is kind of weird because he actually lives in the North Pole. But, you know, whatever. It's a bit of fun. Go to Lapland, go and meet Santa Claus. And more importantly, take all these people on board on holiday to meet Santa Claus, because we're pilots. Us pilots have to fly straight back to Newcastle if it was in real life, but obviously this isn't a real life flight sim. Well, it is a real life flight sim. I meant, like, it's not literally real life, it's inside a computer game. So, good. So I'll park up just on the 07 here. Do a quick check. Make sure it's all good. Parking brakes on. Right, make sure everything's correct. So, line lights on. Taxi lights, runway turn-offs on. Recall. Positive. Move that into there. And bring it up to 50% M1. And toga. And start the clock. 80 knots. V1,
V1.
rotate.
V2.
And positive climb. Gears going up. We can go in now and all brakes can turn off. The auto throttle can come out. Actually, this. Get the autopilot in now. Quite a lovely plane on the way out from what you call it, whatever it's called, Newcastle. That's it. They can all come off now, and the flaps can come in. And we lock the gear. And that is straight up to Rovaniemi. We've got some massive gaps between waypoints up here. There's us, we've just taken off, and currently Stockholm controller online, so we might get a little bit of ATC further on. Not right now, obviously. And this can go into flight mode. I think it's flight mode we put it into. And just says as required, and we need to turn on the packs. And that's everything all set now. So may as well set the landing flaps and all that in there. Transition altitude is presumably about 6,000. So obviously we're stepping, this reckons we need to step in 92 miles. I don't think that's accurate. We're not even going to be in the air in 92, that's literally like, silly. And we need to set this at the standard. Why has this just gone straight to 295 knots? Wait, it's still in N1 mode. Wait, it's just going N1, it's not going into speed mode for some reason. Landing lights coming in. Yeah, look, it should have limited us to 250 knots there, but it didn't. Okay, it's automatically putting in N1, which is just max power. It's in climb thrust, so it does know we're climbing. And when we land, we should have about 7 tons of fuel, which is what we should have. This is estimating an hour and 20 minutes to go to Rovaniemi. The flight time today was planned to be 2 hours 34, so sounds pretty accurate to me. We're going to be like the only plane on Vatsim in this area, the only one. Well, the game's not crashing. I'm not gonna say that. It's just gonna jinx it. Forget it. Hopefully the game doesn't crash. Just hopefully. I've got to hope a lot because I've had some problems with that lately. But is a bit weird. I haven't actually flown this plane in quite some time. It appears to be behaving itself right now. Again, if it starts misbehaving right now, I know what to blame. So, yeah. So now, just calm, straight to 350, up to 370 after we hit Osvig. But that's not for another... It's not for a while. I'm not exactly sure when. But it's definitely not for a while. Can I have a look? Next page? No, the next page doesn't tell me anything. It's been in the air 5 minutes. We've got... So it's currently in the game. It's 9:11 AM. And we'll be landing at 11:33 AM. So 2 hours and 22 minutes on top of this. So it's about 2.5 hours flight time. So a flight announcement now. Hello and welcome on board flight 2922 on your way down to Lapland in Rovaniemi. We hope you enjoy your holiday with us and you get to see Santa. Estimated flight time today should be about 2.5 hours. Cruising today at 35,000 feet for half the journey, and then we're going up to 37,000 feet a little bit later. That's literally it. That's literally the announcement. Yeah, there's no one in range that's on Unicom or anything like that, so whatever. Recall's coming back good on the plane, so we don't appear to have set anything up wrong. Hopefully that maintains true. Well, that's happened, that we haven't set anything up stupidly wrong. Yeah, so currently I think we are the only plane heading for Rovaniemi. Actually, no, there's 2 planes heading for Rovaniemi currently. One from Gatwick. Oh, wow! It's another Fly UK. What do you know? It's another Fly UK. That's just... It hasn't left Gatwick yet, but it's close to leaving Gatwick, and it's a 757, so it'll definitely be there a little bit later than me. And there's also one that's been pre-filed from Helsinki, but that isn't even connected yet. And then there's one departing to Barcelona, so that's cool. This will be good. Stream. Actually, I'll put it onto the analytics page. So yeah, it's quite a long flight, this one. 1,027 miles to go. So that is a decent length. We're gonna be here for another 2 hours and 20 minutes. So yeah, it's kind of nice. It's mostly ocean for now, and then we'll be over Stockholm and Norway. No, not Stockholm. Stockholm's on a country. Sweden's the country. So we're flying over the North Sea into Norway, northern Sweden, and then eventually northern Finland. So that's nice. Very looking forward to. I've never flown a flight this long in the flight sim. The longest I've ever done was like 2010, so it's going to be a bit interesting that. And what's also a bit interesting is we've got. Yeah, again, I've never flown to the north of Finland in this game either. So, and it's a little bit of fun. It's a little bit of festive fun, you know. I was going to do it like next week. Probably would have been the better week to do it because it's a lot closer to Christmas. But I'm busy next week, so you know, I'm busy with Christmas. I'd rather do it this week. Basically, it's just easier. So, but you know, we're well within December. It's the 14th today, so. Well within the Christmas area. Right, it's got 10,000 feet remaining on our climb. Actually, let's just put this up to like 80. No, yeah, let's put it up to 80. Yeah, the little thing on there saying step climb. It's a bit annoying. It thinks we need to step climb there. I don't want to step climb immediately. I want to step climb a little bit later. So I can say slash and then 250. I can't enter anything in, unfortunately. We've got a little bit of tailwind. That's nice. Always good to have a tailwind rather than a headwind. Makes us go just like a little bit faster. Oh, we've got a little contrail behind us. Going good right now, just chilling. What was it, 8,000 feet? Yep, to cruise. And then this thinks we want to step immediately. Apparently you have to enter in yourself though, because there is a specific point that I want to do it. It's Osvig. When will we reach Osvig? This isn't telling me. I want to know. So I'll just say, like, can I put that in? So I go to, and I can put 0940 Z/. No. It doesn't look like I can interfere with that step point thing. Oh, we're almost out of fuel in the centre tank, so... And then we'll be just running on the outside tanks then. There's really not many waypoints on this flight because of the fact, because apparently we're following airways, but there are no airways, it is just direct, so I don't really understand what it meant by that. I forgot that these planes, they climb really fast at first and then they start slowing down like mad later on in the climb. It is literally just sea. That's all I can see. Yeah, that's quite funny. So there's Newcastle right there, and this is the North Sea. And I don't know how long. Which waypoint is over? It's between Alotti and Osvig. Halfway. So at Alotti we should be able to see land. And Alotti is in about 160 miles or 20 minutes, is it? So in about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, we should be directly over the land. In about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we should be able to see land. Almost at cruise, and that's the thing. This thing wants us to just climb straight up to 370, which it seems a bit silly. I'd rather do it a little bit later, really. So we're just basically waiting for this thing to climb. And obviously at Osvig, then we'll climb 2,000 feet more. I don't know why, I guess we're doing that because it's faster. I'm not really sure. But that's obviously what's in brief planned for me, so it's what I'm doing. Oh, there's a little fuel warning, look. To say we're out of fuel in the centre tank. So turn those fuel pumps off. Alright, if I turn off the seatbelt signs, yes I have, good. To make sure people aren't just stuck there, because that'd be rather mean. I've got some tea left here. It's like really cold. Nah, not a massive fan of cold tea. It's alright. I'll just do a quick check, make sure the audio is still working on my phone. Oh, there's Cruise. Cool. So that, yeah, the power is going down now. It's gone out of N1 mode. I'll just do a quick check, make sure the audio. Yeah, it is still working. Good. Yeah, my battery's going down quickly. I don't want to plug it in though, because last time plugging it in, I think it must have hit the power cable of my PC, because it caused it to turn off. There you go. We're good. So this thinks we should step climb now. I don't want to step climb now, obviously. I'm just going to have that step climb indicator just follow me the whole flight now. Yeah, I'm just going to delete the step climb until I actually need to do it. Because what I can also do is just dial this up to 370 and then it enters it there. That's what I'm going to do. Because it's not set up to, I can't like tell it to, in a 747 you can manually program it to do it, you know, as you want. I need to do it manually. You can program it to automatically do it basically on a 747. You can't in this, unfortunately. Oh wow. Right, let's have a look at the our arrival down into, but using runway 21, so get an RNAV star, maybe get Nemgu. Yep, that's it there, the Nemgu 1 Charlie. So let's go ahead and check that. Going Nemgu 1, Nemgu you need to be above flight level 100, and then it is MIPGO, Eknom, and then VECIP. At VECIP you need to be above 250 and 24 knots, and then we go on to the ILS from there. And we are using runway 21 at F-row, Rovaniemi, so I think that's the plan, isn't it? Let's check the wind again, make sure I got it right. It is still 150. And the plane for Gatwick has just set off. And there's a plane at Anchorage that's just flashed up on here, so it's might be a bit busy. We're 2 hours away apparently, according to this. But obviously that's based on our current speed, which will decrease when we start descending. So therefore it's more like 2 hours and 10. Basically adds about maybe 15-20 minutes, because obviously we do slow down at the end. So add that on. But yeah, the plane from Gatwick now hasn't got up to speed. Still, they're at 4,000 feet, but they've got 1,200 miles remaining. I've got 900 miles remaining. And the plane from Anchorage is 3,000 miles away, so apparently Helsinki is 4,000. Oh, never mind, that's just bugged out because they haven't actually set off yet. And Barcelona, they haven't set off for us, but I should be there because I'm 300 miles ahead of the Gatwick flight, so I should easily be there before them. I mean, 300 miles is a fair amount of time. Oh, there's the bye-bye. to England and England. I'm not sure when we'll see Scandinavia pop up, but should see it at some point. Put it into 160 range now. We've got such a gap that even if I put it into max, what was it, 600-mile range or 400-mile range, whatever it is. 640-mile range, and I still can only see 3 waypoints. Nuts. So now it's time to settle down and enjoy the flight. There's no one watching really, so we can't do anything about Christmas games. Yeah, I don't know. Christmas games, random thing. But this is a Christmas special stream, so Merry Christmas. Yeah. Top marks for Christmas celebrations there. I think we did. Yeah, we set off blocks at 9:04, which means we would have easily left at 9:15. We left about 9:10, so that's good. We were still on time. So the aim, if we're going to stay on schedule with Fly UK, is to land by 12:15, which I think we should do. Because my flight sim is only 4 minutes behind real life. So 11:37 in real life time I should be arriving. So exactly 2 hours basically. Let's just put that in the title. Actually, no, there's no point putting that in the title. I don't know why I want to put that in the title. Can I put it like... No, there's no point. I don't know, I'm just trying to get a way to like flash up ETA 1140 on the screen, but there's honestly no point. 90 miles to a Lottie, so 12 minutes? That's not long. We're cruising reasonably slow, just mark 0.773, despite the headwind. And then it's just going to get slower throughout the flight. So cruise, we've got 708 miles, so how long cruise is that? It's an hour and 40 minutes, is that? Yep. It's about an hour and 40 minutes until we descend. Getting through it. I mean, the stream's approaching an hour long, thanks to the fact that, remember the start of this stream was like the longest ever because of some irritating technology. I mean, technology is normally pretty irritating, so... Well, in terms of ATC, let's have a look. Stockholm control is online, which we will be flying through. ESAA. We'll be flying through then. After between an hour and 23 minutes into the flight and 2 hours 16 into the flight. So we'll have a good almost an hour with Stockholm control. I think we'll already be at 370 by then. We're crossing into 370 while it's still in Norway. If I look at the FIRs, yeah, we'll be crossing at 370 just before the Stockholm control, so... Actually, what was my push to talk button? I've forgotten. Button 7. I'm trying to find a good push to talk button. So what button on my thing is not actually used? I'm trying to find a button that isn't actually used. Wait, where? I use every single one. Button 3, that's just messed up the autopilot. So now I need to go into controls and find button 3 and turn it off. Oh, button 3 does the autopilot, does it? Let's try button 4. This is going to get silly, isn't it? So that button now does nothing. So I can go settings, push to talk, button 4. Good. Okay, so that button 4 is now our push to talk button. Good. I think I see land up there. I do? Yeah, I think that's land. I can't really see much of the UK anymore. We've got it all figured out now. We've got the push to talk settings worked out. Stockholm control might not even be online. What are they? It's ESOS 1 Centre. Right, that's Sweden. I'll search it up. ATC. How do I look it up? It's Sweden ATC boundaries. Can't really find anything. Okay, just hopefully we'll have mostly. I think it could be one of those things where the whole of the country is covered by one air traffic control boundary, but not all places are like that. And since it says ESOS 1, here you go, it covers this area of Sweden. Centre details. Just trying to find it. It's like, Alright. Just have to forget that. I don't know, it might be in our area, it might not, that's what I'm going to have to go with, because I don't really know much. So basically, it might cover us, it might not. So we'll just, what it is, we'll just wait for the little notification from the controller to say, contact me now, basically. So yeah, that plane now, the Gatwick one, has mostly got up to speed, not full speed, but it's probably about an hour behind us. So, haven't got anything to worry about there. And that's definitely Scandinavia. Obviously this is quite southern Scandinavia. We're going to be getting much more up north as we continue this flight. So actually, I'll check what time the Metal. So 9:20 was the last one for Rovaniemi, so there'll be another one at 9:50. But currently, it is still planned runway 21. I mean, we might very well be the only plane at Rovaniemi anyway, in which case it'll make no difference. So in terms of fuel at our destination, we should have about £7.2 thousand. Pretty decent. What was the plan for us to have when we landed? Don't really know. Just gonna have to leave that. So look, so it should tell me how much fuel I'll have left at the end. So the trip fuel, here you go, 13,926. And then you got plus alternate, plus 15 minutes, plus final reserves. Yeah, our final reserves is 2.2. Well, there you go. That's where you find reserves. I was like, hang on a minute, what's reserves? I just found it. 2.2 is our final reserves, and that's 30 minutes of fuel. Got 10 miles to go to a Lottie, not for the destination, obviously. It's a slight left turn, so we'll be heading. We'll get a slightly smaller tailwind, but 2 knots maybe. Not a lot. And Stockholm control is still online currently. There's no other control online. Right, now I've refreshed Vatsim. Another flight to Gatwick has just shown up, and they're already at 39,000 feet. And they're only 197. Oh, so they must have gone off the network and then connected again, because they have only just showed up. And they'll be getting there before us. They're at Thomas Cook. Is that like a mistake or something? They shouldn't be. What's a Thomas Cook doing round? Quick back view of the left wing there. And here is Scandinavia. So Norway first, then Sweden, then Finland is the plan. In terms of gates at Rovaniemi, what are we using? So arrival, we haven't got anything specific. Wow. Departure, again, nothing specific either. Actually, since I've not got much clue what to do right now, I may as well enter in all the information for arrival. So 111.7, put that on standby frequency, and the course is 206. And there's no point in putting in, obviously I'm not going to activate the frequency yet. And we can set the heading to our current heading. There you go. 042. If you want it to match up with that though, so 040. So it's 244 miles to Osvig, and then which is where we're climbing up to 370. I'm streaming for 1 hour and 10 minutes coming up now. So I estimate this stream should be about, with this flight it's going to take 2 hours 40 plus the 5 minutes at the start plus the 20-minute turnaround. All that stuff. We've been recording for, no not, that's since pushback 43 minutes, since takeoff 37 minutes. So yeah, about 5 minutes extra plus 20-minute turnaround. So 2 hours, it's 2 hours 50, 3 hours, about 3 hours 20 I reckon the stream will be, since we started about 8:45. Should be done for, what? So we started at 8:40 that timer, so 3 hours, what was it, 20? Let's just say 20, 3 hours 20, so the stream should be done by about 12 o'clock. Not 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we'll still be flying. So it's quite a long stream, this one. So that Gatwick plane now is half hour behind me, and the Thomas Cook is an hour and a half in front of me. Is that the Gatwick plane? That's now at 24,000 feet, so it's pretty much stabilised, and I'm about 200 and something miles ahead of it, so we shouldn't get much in the way of traffic arriving into Rovaniemi unless a ton of stuff springs up round Finland. But most things flying into Rovaniemi are coming from the UK, so obviously it is quite a popular airport at this time of year. Ivalo, Katila, Rovaniemi, and well, I've forgotten the name of the other one. Are all popular at this time of year for you know, travellers on their way to Lapland, because you know it's an ideal family holiday and all that. So that's what we've got. We've got 138 people on board, all on their way on holiday to Lapland, I guess. They must like Lapland. When was the last time I actually did a flight with Fly UK? I'm just checking now. When was my next flight due? 1st of January. Oh, I forgot I did a flight into Seattle with them, with the A319. That wasn't on stream, by the way. It was AR. That was in the freeware planes. The free planes. I've been using a lot of them lately. I might get some. See if you guys want free. They're these free planes. They're less detailed, obviously, and I fly them with AI in the default air traffic control. and it is very fun. I enjoy it. But would you guys be interested in that on a stream? I've got a Dash 8 that works on this PC. It doesn't work on my other PC, so the Dash 8 would probably be the best one. They're really not good quality. They are pretty shocking, but they're very simple to fly, is what it is. You know, you board them, you click Control E to start the engines, and then that's it. You just listen to the air traffic control, and it is a bit more simple, and it's quite fun. This is more complex, more, you know, professional flight simming, and that other type is less professional, a bit more casual flight simming. And I do like to have a mix of both. I love, you know, this sort of more complex kind of flight simming, and I also love the more simple side of it. It's good to do both. And the complex stuff I generally leave for the streams, and the simple stuff I generally do off streams. But if you guys would be interested in me doing some of the more simple planes on some of these weekends, or after schools, or after whenever, just evening time, or morning time, or yeah, whatever it is really, definitely put down in the comments. Although at the moment we've got one person watching, and it says 2, but I have a feeling the second one might just be the streaming software itself, which is YouTube. So yeah, 41 minutes into our journey. Nothing's really going on. Give it, how long's to Oslo? I need to do a lot of mental maths here. It's good. 23 minutes. About 40 minutes time, just under. More like half hour actually. Actually, yeah, less than half hour even. It's about 20. It's 26. It's about 27 minutes time. We should be getting to Oslo. 27 minutes. So not long, and then we can go up to 370 then. I love the scenery. These lovely mountains. Quite a nice looking plane, the 737. I always think it looks a bit cool. You know, like, it thinks it's some sort of like cool machine. I mean, just look at it. It's got the like. Oh, I can't really describe it. Like, there you go. It's got a bit of like a sort of a pointy nose, like it knows what it's doing. It's got the slightly blacked out front. But the Airbus looks more like it was designed sort of just by a computer. This probably was as well, but it looks a little bit more like cool, I guess. I do like it. It's nice. Actually, I'll just go onto YouTube and check the stream health. We're all good. In terms of stream health, the stream isn't ill or anything, which is good. So start the stream at 8:39 AM, and then it recommended the audio bit rate because I wasn't talking, and then we actually started talking and probably going at about 8:47. So the current stream status is excellent, so that's good. Means my internet is coping with Vatsim and streaming at the same time. It's pretty nice. I'm probably like draining the internet right now. Yeah, I'm connected to an online server while streaming, so it's probably a fair amount there. Well, you know, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs open. Make that 4 tabs open. Right, in terms of the actual air, like the aerodrome chart, transition altitude is, it's 5,000, okay. I will correct that now. Descent, then forecast, there it is. What is the altitude at Rovaniemi? 700 feet, okay. This chart fox is excellent. Honestly, anybody who, like, searches the web for charts and can't find any good ones, use chart fox. Like, you need a Vatsim login to use it, like, because it's directly linked to Vatsim. So, it's like basically, it's a free service for anybody that uses Vatsim. They haven't got every country in the world. They've got most of them. They've got pretty much everything in Europe. There's very little they haven't got. I've got a list of ones they haven't got. On my PC, they haven't got Bulgaria, Belgium, Luxembourg, New Zealand. They're the 3 they haven't got. In terms of ones I've actually flown in, they're the only 3 they haven't got. So it's not bad. So I mean, it's still not, you know, the full ones that Nats have. No, not Nats. What are they called? Navigraph. I've got the Navigraph data subscription, but the Navigraph charts, they are stupidly expensive. So it's about £90 a year for the combined FMC and charts bundle, which is absolutely shocking. Seriously, I could afford this PC, no, not this PC, this game that I'm playing right now, and the 737, that comes to 70. And that's like one-off fee, obviously. So to add another 90 on that per year, not just 90, it is pretty insane. It's really not worth the money, in my opinion. It's, you know, just so you can search the web for charts instead. It is absolutely silly. And obviously in this case we've got ChartFox now. Which basically searches the web for you and then gives you the charts. So, and I think they're the latest ones. I'm not sure. It's from the actual Finland, like, Vatsim page, but it's they're from 2017. They're a little bit out of date, but they've got all the right stuff on them, so there's obviously no problem. And obviously you don't get things like the app that Navigraph have. They have an app that you can get on your iPad and view it properly, like, and you can connect it to your plane in game. You can't do stuff like that, fair enough, but it is definitely better than the old thing I was doing, which was, you know, if I couldn't find charts for Rovaniemi, what I would have done is gone on the internet and searched FRO charts, and it would have brung up, you know, FRO is the ICAO code for Rovaniemi, and it would have brought up just like really out of date ones that Navigraph release out of date ones occasionally that are like 10 years old, and that's probably what I would have ended up finding. Which obviously 10 years old compared to 2 years old, the 2 years old ones are much more accurate. So good job. I mean, obviously it's not like the up to date ones that Navigraph have, but I can deal with it. It's good enough. Definitely good enough. Right, 150 miles to Osvig. We seem to be crawling like a snail. Where we have actually chopped quite a bit of time off our top of descent, not in terms of like actual time, but only 580 miles. I remember when that said 900. So, as it's 700 miles now, so we've travelled 355 miles. So, and we are over. I think this looks really nice. I mean, people say FSX isn't pretty, and it's true compared to the brand new Microsoft Flight Sim that's coming out, or P3D. It's not as nice, but to be fair, I think it's alright. Unfortunately, I've got the screenshot on my other PC, but I was flying a free A320 EasyJet. I can't remember where I was flying it now. I think it was Basel to Prague, and it was dawn, and it was so nice. It, like, the actual sun, the way the sun looked made the landscape look a lot nicer, and it did look pretty good. I mean, obviously not, you know, £100 worth of scenery quality, but it's pretty good. I mean, that's what I like about FSX. It's the reason why I think even when the new Microsoft Flight Sim comes out, I'll probably still play this, because this is just nice. It's a really good game. It's only £20. Like, you know, P3D is like £60, and then when it updates to a new version, like version 3, version 4, you have to pay that again. X-Plane's £50, and then, you know, and there's not much add-on support for X-Plane. That's what turned me away from X-Plane. And then you got this one. It's sure enough, it's what, 13 years old now. But the Steam version, I think, is only about 4 or 5 years old. It is still pretty old, so it's not. And the Steam version is just the same 2006 version. It's not any different. $130 miles to go, and then I've got to remember to climb to 370. I've got to remember that. Are we anywhere near the active ATC? No, we're not. And they've been active for 51 minutes. If they're only doing an hour-long shift, they'll be offline in 9 minutes, in which case I won't hit them. In terms of our arrival into Rovaniemi, there's nothing on the ground there anymore. The Barcelona flight has left. And the flight to Anchorage has left, but that won't be getting there for ages. It's 3,000 miles away from us, so I haven't got anything to think about there. So it is literally just that flight from Gatwick will be getting in about 10 minutes, and then there's us at 11:30 Zulu, and then there's the other flight UK at 12:05. So 35 minutes separates us. It's quite a bit of time. So I basically have Rovaniemi to myself. So even if I do end up using the wrong one, actually it's 9:50. It's just gone went 9:50 like 10 minutes ago. It's still 150. Okay, good. We're still using the right one, right runway. Because we're 6 knots away from runway 21, and it's 12 knots away from runway 3. Obviously the wind could change in the time that it takes for us to get down there, but we should be fine. There's our plane. See, there's bits of snow and ice and lake. It's quite cool. We've been over it for quite some time now. And then it goes into more solid land then. So block time for this flight, which is the time that Fly UK will record, is planned to be 3 hours and 2. So we'll see if we can do it any quicker, and we'll see if we can do the flight any quicker, which is 2 hours 34. But it's by far the longest flight I'm ever going to do. I think the longest one I've ever done before was like 2 hours 12. Something like that, 2 hours 15 maybe. So it's not a lot longer. It's a little bit longer. So 100 miles, that's just 14 minutes until Oswig, and then we can climb to 370, and we should go a little bit quicker once we've climbed, I think. We should be going a little bit faster. Let's go ahead and do a check. So we've done the landing altitude. Just need to set the just need to set the minimums. So it'll be about 1,000, I think. $700, so about 900 will be the minimums. Osvig has appeared on my map. If I scroll out a bit more, we can see. Oh wow, you can see our top of descent. Look. If we scroll all the way out. See all these bits of ice. It's cool. I like it. More ice that way, more ice that way, and then we've got land. Proper just land. I mean, it has, the textures haven't actually fully loaded in yet, so I can't really tell. Those might just be regular FSX textures, you never know. So, I'm not even sure what to talk about now. It's been like 57 minutes, no, hour and a half of streaming. I'm like, yeah, I've forgotten how to talk. 7 playbacks. Total number of times the video is loaded, including played refreshes and change of camera angle. So that's how many times people have viewed the stream. They've got concurrent viewers, which it won't tell me about. So currently, stream health is still excellent. It's been excellent the whole time. I like that. Actually, I need to move Vatsim a little bit. I can't quite see Rovaniemi on Vatsim, but getting close. Actually, let's have a look at Stockholm Control. They've now been online 57 minutes. And they're still online right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and just get ready to tune that frequency. So it's 118.4. Let's get a piece of paper out in case he asks us about a squawk code that we need to set. But it should still be a little bit of time until we actually get into that area. We've just crossed into the Oslo FIR. So we're getting a little bit more northern now. We're starting to go quite northern look. We've now been above Norway for quite some time, but it's still only just turning into proper land, and not just snow. I mean, there might be land under the snow, the snow might just be snow, I'm not really sure. I mean, since it is the 14th of December, in real life and in game, it'll probably be quite cold and snowing over in Norway right now in this area, so it wouldn't surprise me if it was anyway. Actually, I can check if we're meeting, like, sort of the planned amount of time is at Osvig, we should be 1 hour and 9 minutes into the flight, so I should be hitting Osvig in 10 minutes. We're hitting it in 9, so yeah, about 1 minute ahead of plan, so exact really. And that's just clicked over to an hour anyway, so pretty close, pretty good. Close to planned. 626 miles to go to Rovaniemi. We've flown 447, so we are approaching the halfway mark of the flight, but not quite yet. And we're descending in 492 miles, so not long. That's what, yeah, 1 hour until descent, 1 hour and 4 minutes. So it's not long, not massively long. Obviously we will be at 370, so that will probably go a little bit early. Oh, there's a plane up here on my TCAS. What plane is that? It's at 36,000, so I don't know why it's showing up as at the same altitude as me. It's just descending. It's just gone down to 35,000. And it is literally, so it's at the same altitude as me. It's going to Chicago. I don't see it. I think it's going away now. Oh, I forget, yeah. That's because it's in... If I turn that down to 40 miles, look, it's still really far away. It's because it's in such a high... Such a close... I'll just turn it down so I can see where the plane is. This is what I like about flying on live. You've always got something to do. Like, you know, you're sitting there bored for a little bit and you're like, what to do? And then this plane shows up on my radar. And it's like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, yeah. Okay. Another plane from Heathrow departing now, but that'll be way behind all of us. And the flight from Helsinki's been cancelled on there, so it hasn't, like, the pre-file of it's been cancelled, so... It's currently about, what's that, 10 miles away from us in that direction, so... Oh, I think I just saw a little flash. There it is. That's it there. It's a Scandinavian A330. Right, now I know it's nowhere near us, I can pop that back up to 160 nautical mile range. And there's no other planes being a problem for us at the moment, so that's good. What I will get from Skytrack, because I really do this longer flights on Skytrack, but I will get a little notice about 2 hours into the flight. I'll get a little notice from Skytrack telling me to change one of the frequencies, so I might have to do that. But A330 is literally the only plane in my area at the moment, so... We are going very northern over Sweden, so we might not hit the ATC boundary. I think the ATC is more around the Stockholm area. I'm trying to look it up, and it is telling me, but it's not very obvious. Let's look at images. That's not telling me anything. So the only bit that's telling me here is... That's what it's telling me, is it's... northern Finland. This little bit here, look, you can't see it, but it's a little bit, little corner of the map, so I'm just trying to track that, and that's where it goes. So I might not hit the ATC, because ESOS Centre is not the whole thing. It's only the Stockholm part of it. So I might not get ETC, I'm not really sure. We'll have to just wait and see. Oh, we're approaching the altitude, but we need to head up to so I'll put this into cruise, ready to do that, and then I'll turn this up to 370 on the little MCP altitude, and then pop it in to cruise altitude. So with the step plug, we are going to be saving 3.8% of fuel. So we'll save a little bit of fuel. Not a lot, but a little bit. I got the step plugged in, just waiting for Osvig in 13 miles, and then I can plug it up to flight level 370, so just 2,000 feet up, not a lot, but it might help us go a little bit faster. It is just 9 miles away now, so time for me to plug in the step climb, pretty much. I'll do it once it activates the next waypoint. So 5 miles, it should activate I think 3 miles before the next waypoint. No, 3 miles before this waypoint is when it normally switches over. And then I'll plug in the new altitude. It's already set in the MCP, so I can wait this moment all flights to actually do something. And we are currently about 2 minutes early to 1 minute early in between. So that's pretty good. Well, actually, no, it's continuing on to about a mile before. I guess it wants to be more accurate, doesn't it? Is it going to 0.5, is it? Yeah, it is. Right, plug that in. And enter. That's going to give us a much higher speed. And there you go. So this plane is now throttling up. It's going to climb 2,000 feet. And then it's going to drop back down again. And that's moved our top of descent back by like 1 minute. Not an awful lot. It's going to be a very slow climb up. That's kind of expected. It doesn't like doing a particularly fast climb up at this altitude, so the lap has got a little bit quicker. Let's put the speed from Mach 0.774 to Mach 0.78. So we're a lot quicker, so it'll save us a little bit of time possibly. Those little altitude horns tell us we're approaching 37,000 feet. And currently we have a Norwegian plane in our area, according to this. I'm not sure where it is. Is it on the ground? Yes, it is. It's on the ground at Oslo. That's why I can't really see it very well. And Rovaniemi is in range of my view. Well, it was until I moved the view. Right, there you go. It is now. Good. So there's 37,000 feet. The plane will throttle down now. I'll put this down to 18 nautical mile range. I shall keep it until 160. Keep it 160 because after Etipu we've still got 210 miles to Mismo. And it's 168 between Oscorp and Etipu, so still got a good bit of journey to go. But we have, speeded up a little bit there. Saved just small with the fuel, like £100 maybe. It's not an awful lot. We've saved a little bit. And I can now delete the cruise. I can delete the step point there. So 407 miles to top of descent now. We've got 545 miles to go, and we've been flying 530, so we are basically halfway. As near as makes the difference halfway anyway. So here we are. That plane, that Thomas Cook now is 2,000 feet away from landing. I don't know why there's a Thomas Cook in the air. Thomas Cook don't exist anymore. Haze Traveller have actually taken them over now, so they do technically exist. But not totally. It looks like Rovaniemi is going to get very busy. There's an event on at Rovaniemi, but not until 5 o'clock. And it's only 20 past 10, so I don't expect anything busy until a bit later on, but that's why I'm doing. That's the good thing about doing flights early in the morning, is Vatsim's a lot quieter. Because I do know that Rovaniemi gets stupidly busy at this time of year on Vatsim, and in real life, in fact. It's one of those places like Corfu, where I went in the summer. It's, Corfu Airport is like 1 or 2 flights a day to Athens during the winter, and then during summer, it's rammed. Like proper packed, so it is. You can tell because they can't manage the capacity, and it can be a little bit of a pain. Right, are they refreshed? It's still not the 1050 meta yet. It's still the 950 meta. So wait a couple of minutes and we'll see the new one. The thing is, I'm so far away now from all the other flights that, despite the fact they are going to leave, they're not going to hit me. That Thomas Cook's just landed down in Rovaniemi. Cool. I'm still good. 527 miles off. Direct, I am 506 miles off. So not a lot of difference there. And I'm currently about half hour. I'm 34 minutes in front of the other Fly UK. And then there's not another one then for 4 hours. But there is one coming in from Amsterdam. How far is that? Oh, it's still 1,050 miles away. So Amsterdam's no closer. It's a fun little stream this. Very Christmassy it's going to get, I think. That's why Rovaniemi's so busy. It's Christmas time. So it's nice. So it's good to do. I don't know why I didn't do it last year, because I wasn't doing an awful lot of flight simming last year though. I think I might not have even owned the PMDG 737. I can't remember when I bought it. It might have been late last year. It might have been Easter time. This year I can't really remember. Or maybe February, January. I can't remember. I think I might have bought it in January. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure. How long is the runway actually? I'm just going to check. It is 10,000 feet, so it's pretty long. It's alright. Landing speed's now 134 knots, so it's going down all the time. I do wish that some of this stuff was clickable at the back. Like, it's kind of nice though. I'm sure you can't go into the cabin like you can in. And I think in X-Plane you can go into the cabin, which is obviously something. That is one thing that FSX lacks, is you can't do stuff like that. Right, I'm approaching Sweden now, so it'll be interesting to see whether we get ATC or not. Because according to the map, this ESOS centre only covers this little southern bit of Finland, which I'm not going over. So I'll have to see. What will it tell me? What? Hopefully it'll tell me what FAR. So this plane here, look, that's in Sweden. Like, there's a different Sweden FAR. If I go on this one, no, it is also just Sweden. So it is just Sweden FIR. So I might get ATC, I might not. And if I do get ATC, it's not really going to do much. Because I think I will be descending while inside Finland. I'm not really sure. Our top of descent is 2 hours and 7 minutes into the flight. Let's have a look. So, FIR. Oh, it is inside Finland. No, not Finland, Sweden. It's just inside Sweden by not a lot. So we would be descending inside Sweden. There's about a 40-second delay on the stream, so not bad. On my phone, there's a much bigger delay. So that's interesting, isn't it? Well, I'll just go off the stream then back on. It should get me the latest, which is what I'd expect to see on my computer or thereabouts. I'm moving around the camera now just to see like how good it is. I don't really mind, but there is about a 40-second delay, so it's not too bad. It's what you expect on YouTube is anywhere between a 20-second and a minute and a half, maybe. About 40 seconds is what I generally get, I think. It's a shame about the fact you get a delay, but it's always going to happen. It's not going to go from my screen to my Wi-Fi to YouTube to your Wi-Fi. It's not going to go like that instantly. So the viewer's Wi-Fi, I should say. So it's not going to be instant. So total air temperature out there is -29, so pretty cold. I think, speaking of the weather, let's check the Meta. It's still saying 9:50, so there might not have been a new one for 10:20. And yeah, in terms of arrival times, 35 minutes between us now, so quick nose camera there. That's actually kind of useless. It's not a great camera. Tail cam of this lovely beast of an aircraft. Left wing forward. The right wing. I want to just view just the wing. Like a right over wing. We're approaching Oscock, 21 miles to go, and that is where we cross into Sweden, I believe. So will we get ATC? I'm not sure. We'll obviously get a notification from the controller if we do have ATC. So this one here, I just need to look up and try and get it clear. So just need to get it clear. So it's that very northern bit of Finland. I'll follow the little bits up of Finland. So there's a little curve for Finland, and then it goes down and back up, and then like that. That's where it starts, there. And it goes along, there's a little curve, does that, and then just before the other curve, the other big curve, it drops off. So that is... Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to me now. So I don't think we're going to be hitting the ATC, unfortunately. Six nautical miles to the next waypoint, and then it's on to Esipu in 168 miles, and then 210 to Mismo, and by Mismo we will already be descending. So only 322 miles to descent, so really not far. It's interesting. And we should be, well, we're well halfway into the flight now, and we should be arriving at Rovaniemi 11:33, so 1 hour and 6 minutes. And in fact, just at this moment, Stockholm Control have actually gone offline. So even if we were in their range, we wouldn't be getting ATC anyway, so it's irrelevant. It's typical, just as we approach ATC they go offline. Typical. Must have had an hour and a half booked. Here you go, it's gone to 130 the wind now. So that is 10 knots away from runway 3 and 8 knots away from runway 21. So runway 21 is still the favoured runway for now. But to be honest, I don't think it'll really matter what runway I'll be using anyway, because there is such a gap between me and there's 36-minute gap now between me and the next plane to be landing, so it's not really relevant. Stream's approaching the 2-hour mark. Wow. Time goes quickly, like really quickly. Like 2-hour mark already? That's nuts. Been in the air around 23. It's quite long. If I was doing a flight to even as far as Turin from London, like Gatwick, that's about an hour and but anywhere between an hour and 15 and an hour and 25 is Turin from Gatwick. So. And that's about 500 miles. So, and we've covered 632. Obviously, do stay down on descent, so it'll factor that in. But we should be about an hour away. So, final flight time should be 2 hours and 27, which is a good 7 minutes ahead of schedule in terms of that. And in terms of actual real life, we should be down 11:37 actual time. So. That's, again, a little bit ahead of schedule, because we left 5 minutes early from the runway, so pretty much on time. So we'll be getting into Rovaniemi, because obviously this flight is scheduled to take 3 hours, and according to Fuel Planner, it should take me 2 hours and 56 minutes to get to Rovaniemi, but it doesn't. It honestly doesn't take that long to get to Rovaniemi. It only takes, well, according to this, 2 hours 34. Because I was thinking it was saying it's 3 hours flight to Rovaniemi, but I was like, hang on a minute, it's only 1,080 miles. And Malaga was 990 miles. Like, it's only a little bit further than Malaga. So it should be just over 2.5 hours, because Malaga is just under 2.5 hours. So I was thinking, I was right, because 2 hours 34 is just... Because I think Malaga was about 2 hours 25 planned. Maybe 2 hours 20. And there's only 90 miles difference between the two. And in the end, it was only 80 miles difference, because the route I planned was actually, I think, 1,070 miles. But the route Fly UK planned was 1,080. So I still saved 10 miles. There's an A321 EasyJet in the area. Why is it an A321? Like, it's because my game doesn't recognise the call sign EJU. That's why. In my game, all EasyJets are EZY, even the European ones. Because EJU, I think, it's either European EasyJet. I think it's European EasyJet, because there's Swiss EasyJet, European EasyJet, and UK EasyJet. And UK is EZY. And one of the two, Switzerland or Europe, are EJU. And then, I'm not sure what the other one is. EZE, maybe? I think EZE might be Switzerland, and then Europe is EJU, and then obviously EZY for the UK, I think. But obviously my game recognises it as EZY. Which is why I'll have a little bit of problems with the modelling. I just need to download that, like, Vatsim model matching, is it? I can't type. Yeah, look. That's in model matching. And it's just something, yeah, look. FLAI. In my package, you're featuring your favourite aircraft and models from Vatsim. The package includes more than 100 aircraft models. So that's probably what I'll have to get that. Because at the moment there's an awful lot of liveries that aren't recognised. The thing is, that might actually then interfere with World of AI, which I don't want it doing. So maybe it's a good idea to just not bother. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look it up whether they conflict each other or whether you can turn one or the other off. I'm not really sure. Right. I just wanted to check what would happen if there you go. So I need to right click. It is a bit silly that you can put it from the locked position directly to the down position. In real life you can't do that. So it seems a little bit silly that I can do that in the game. But oh well. No warning lights up here, no. Recalls come back good. Just check the landing speeds. They're still good. 117.7, yeah, and 206. Okay, everything's all set correctly for landing, even though we've still got a good amount of time to go. Stockholm's packed today. I don't know why, I think it was so busy. I think it's just really busy because of the air traffic control. But then the air traffic control have left, and it's like, oh. It's just left it really busy. It's a bit silly, everyone just goes, oh, there's ATC, and then flies there. And then by the time they've actually flown there, the ATC have disconnected. So, oh wow. There. Little interruption, I just muted my mic. So, I've actually flown there, the ATC have disconnected. So, I want to see, how does it sound when I just mute the mic? Right, did I click off the game? When I did the desktop audio, I did, didn't I? There. Yeah, I did. Oh well. Little interruption. I just muted my mic. So the muting mic does work then. I just don't. Oh wait, I need to put this back onto mute. The muting the mic does work then. Good. So got 105 miles to go to the next waypoint. 390 miles to go to Rovaniemi. Not too far. I think it's Rovaniemi. That's how you pronounce it. You know, I'm just gonna look it up. Rovaniemi. Pronounce. There should be a YouTube video on it. Yes, there is.
Rovaniemi. Rovaniemi.
That just sounds like Google Translate.
Rovaniemi.
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 That just sounds like Google Translate to me. Can I find one that isn't from...
Rovaniemi.
Rovaniemi. There you go. That's that sorted. It's something that isn't from Google Translate. That is like pronunciation guide was the channel called, and it was like Rovaniemi, and it was Rovaniemi because it was from Google Translate. So if you never trust Google Translate on how to pronounce something, I'll tell you that now. It's a bad idea. Google Translate doesn't know how to pronounce an awful lot of stuff. I type Rovaniemi into Translate now. See what happens. Rovaniemi.
Rovaniemi.
In fact, it says Rovaniemi. And in Finland,
Rovaniemi.
in Finnish, it's also Rovaniemi. Well, if the Finnish pronounce it like that,
Rovaniemi. Rovaniemi.
that's how you pronounce it in Finnish. So, so that video that had 11,000 views now has 11,000 people saying the wrong thing. That's actually quite funny. Ugh. Well, at least I was saying it right. It's actually quite funny that. Oh, there's still a plane. That plane on the ground in Rovaniemi is still there. Yeah, words of the week for this stream, Rovaniemi. It's obviously kind of obvious. Because that's where we're flying. It's very obvious, in fact, that that would be the word of the stream, word of the week, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it word of the week. Sounds better than word of the stream. And since I haven't done a stream in about 1 month, it doesn't really matter whether it's word of the stream or word of the week. And they're both about the same time frame anyway. The time frame's irrelevant. Yeah. So, 8 miles to go to the next waypoint, so 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, that's an hour and 43 at Etipu. So we're about 2 minutes ahead of schedule, despite the fact that the 737's calculations suggest I'll be in Rovaniemi in 53 minutes, which would make it a lot quicker than SimBrief is telling me. Unless that last portion of the flight is quicker than SimBrief. Like, this plane thinks it can do it quicker than SimBrief thinks we can. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the scenery. It's getting a bit darker now, look. Because obviously the time zones. Is it 2 hours in Rovaniemi? They are GMT plus 2, yeah, 2 hours ahead. So in Rovaniemi right now it's 8:44 AM. So it will be getting a bit darker as we head further north. What's the actual sunrise time? Sunrise. Today it's 10:56, and that's Eastern European time. Whoa. Okay, so it might be dark when we get there. It didn't really occur to me, but it might very well be dark. Because when we get there, the sun won't rise for another hour. That's interesting. We take off in the light and land in the dark, despite the fact that it's morning. That's quite interesting. I like that. Because I just noticed now, it is definitely getting darker. Look. Over there to there, it's definitely a bit darker. I'm liking the landscape. What's this? Yeah, Sweden. I've never flown over Sweden in the flight sim before, so something new. We've done 724 miles, 350 to go. Pretty good, pretty normal. Since pushing back from the gate, it's been an hour and 42 minutes. We've been streaming 2 hours and 7 minutes. So, and we've been connected to Vatsim, so that's how long we've been on the simulator. We've connected to Vatsim an hour and 52 ago. But let's have a look at here. Right. It is 37 minutes between the two of us now, the Gatwick and the Newcastle flight. Obviously I'm the Newcastle, so we should easily be there quickly. And that Thomas Cook that landed is going back, it's going to Oslo now. So it landed in from Gatwick and now it's flying to Oslo. That's interesting. And it's just taken off by the looks of it. Although it's at 600 feet. And since Rovaniemi is at 900 feet, I question how that's possible. It must just be taking off or something. I really do question how that's possible. But whatever. That means it's at minus 300 feet. That's sort of impossible. In terms of, ground level, it's minus 300 feet. In terms of sea level, it's still plus 600. Actually, no, Rovaniemi is at 700 feet. I'm being silly, never mind. It's probably on the ground. Maybe just taken off. Yeah, it's at 2,600 now, so it has just taken off. I forgot that 900 was the minimums, not the actual altitude. So the altitude, that was 660, that was saying. 690, so it would have been minus 30. But obviously this is the runway altitude, so it might have changed slightly. But it's definitely getting darker. I didn't know the sun rose so late in Lapland. I didn't know. Otherwise I would have. Yeah, that's nuts. So it's rising in 2 hours and 7 minutes, and we're going to land in less than an hour. So the sun's not going to be up, and we are just going further north. So by the time we actually get to Rovaniemi, it'll be even darker. Because we're going, it's north, was it? Northeast we're going currently. I've got a compass up there, why do I need to work that out? In fact, the compass isn't really helping an awful lot. Put the compass light on. Does absolutely nothing. Don't think we're going to need our cockpit lights on. I don't think it'll get that dark. I've done a night flight before. I'm not sure if it was on the stream, it might have been. Hopefully now getting Rovaniemi we can do it. If we do a really good landing, hopefully Santa can make us some Christmas cookies. I mean, if Santa's actually there. I think we'll be disappointed when we land. But there probably won't be anything, I don't know. Maybe there'll be some special Christmas scenery up at the airport, but I doubt it. Right, I'm just doing something at the moment. Right. Right, I'm trying to find. And you can see me in the corner of our stream, look. Santa has arrived. Yeah, unfortunately that played as soon as I activated it, oh well. So there you go, I've got Santa ready in case we don't see the real one over in Rovaniemi. I've searched Santa non-copyright and then got one, so yeah. Interesting. There you go, just in case we don't see Santa. We've got Santa up in wait, what? Is it just me or did it just suddenly turn darker? I'm gonna watch that on my stream. I'm positive it just turned suddenly darker. Is that just me? I'm almost 100% that it just suddenly turned darker. I'm watching the stream back to see. We're 10 miles from Atipu, which is the next waypoint. Yep! It just suddenly changed to like a night sky. Whoa! This is what I mean though. It's actually quite pretty. The what's it called? The dawn in this game. Quite like it, but I do find it a bit weird how it just suddenly changed from day to like dawn. It just instantly changed in the space of about 2 seconds. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's a bit interesting. There's the moon, look, and there's the sun. Because obviously as we get further north, as I've discovered, the sun hasn't actually risen yet, which I didn't know about. Oh well. There's 2 planes currently on the ground at Rovaniemi and they're departing. And I'm now, so I'm definitely going faster than that other Gatwick flight. Because I'm now 38 minutes ahead of it. $210 miles to our next waypoint, and it's only 148 until we descend, so less than 20 minutes until descent now. That's pretty nuts. I mean, we might need to be using the cockpit lights as we approach. I'm not sure. I've forgotten which buttons are the cockpit lights now. Are they up here? Is it these? That's that panel. They're down here, aren't they? Here they are. So this is the main panel. The main panel lights, and then you've got the background lights. That doesn't appear to do much. Oh, that's just the screens. So it's the main panel brightness I've turned on. And then also the background brightness. Don't need yet. And then we've got whatever this is. Doesn't appear to do anything. I don't think going to leave the lights off. I don't think we need them. Maybe a little bit dark, but look at the right over wing. Look at that. Screenshot heaven. That's such a nice screenshot. I like that. Having a little bit of fun there. Right. So we've been streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Wow. How have I been talking for that long? I don't know. Landing speed's changed now, 133 knots. Oh, it's 10:57, so we might have had the new meta. We haven't had it yet. Okay. I really don't think the runway we land on will make any difference though, because of the fact that we're the only plane around Rovaniemi at this time. There'll be planes. That's what I'm going to have to watch though. There are 2 planes on the ground that are leaving Rovaniemi. And if they take their time on the ground, I might have problems in terms of they might be taking off while I'm landing. But the thing is, I'm still 260 miles away. Like, they should be off in 40 minutes time. Ooh, clouds. It does look nice, this. We're going to go over the sea, or are we missing the sea? We might just go over it. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Nope, we just miss it. We go along the coast. Okay. I like the sound of that. We have literally gone over the whole of Scandinavia. Pretty much. Like, the whole of this main part, anyway. The Norway and Sweden part. The Finland we're not. But Norway and Sweden, we've basically, gone right across them. Very interesting little flight this has been. And it might be entirely dark by the time I get to Rovaniemi, because obviously we're still going northeast. So I'm just proceeding to go north. And it's about, what, just under 90 miles to descent? Nope. Wait, so what's each one worth? 40? Yeah, 40. So just under 120. So it's still 14 miles. Our first one is 1,000 feet. Or above, so that's what I'll set the altitude thing as. Let's go ahead and plan. Let's have a look at the arrival. So we come in and then loop round to the airport. And that is literally it. Right, I'm going to look at one more time. What runway are they using in Rovaniemi in real life? If I can find any flights that are actually going to be flying in and out. Because they might not be any... There's still no flights, okay. Has this plane just left Rovaniemi? It's holding. It looks like it's holding above Rovaniemi almost. Weird. And that's all I know. So what is Rovaniemi time? Oh, they're ahead, not behind. No, it's 1 o'clock in Rovaniemi. So why is it so dark? If it's 1 o'clock in Rovaniemi right now, and sunrise is 10:58 or 10:56, it's 10:56 yesterday, like today. Well, I'm gonna check because I'm wondering whether it's giving me the sunrise time for UK time zone, because it's kind of weird. Rovaniemi Airport, Finland. It's -1. Yeah, sunrise. Oh, that's the problem. What the? Sunrise, 10:57. Sunset, 1:24. So that it's not the sun rising, it's the sun setting. Wow. Their day is literally like non-existent. Their day is so short. That's nuts. Their shortest day is like 3 hours long. No wait, 2 hours and 10 minutes long. 2 hours and, that's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Their shortest day is 2 hours and 9 minutes. What? Oh, I thought I was facing sunrise. That's actually a twist. That's nuts. I should know though, because doesn't the sun set in the east? Yeah. They all rise in the east and oh, they set in the west. Well, if I'm going northeast, then that's east, right? Yeah. East. Oh, east is there. That's east. So that's south? Whatever it is, it's not west. That is not west. There. West is like that way, where the moon is right now. Oh, I don't know, I can't really be bothered to figure it out. It's getting darker. Let's just say that. There's only one plane on the ground in Rovaniemi now. So, and it's really not long until we actually descend now. Interesting. So it's how long now? 73 miles to descend. Not long. Good. Oh, there you go. There's a little, because we've been on Skytrack for 2 hours, there's a little bong to tell me 122 at 0.55. It's a random frequency, so I couldn't have tuned it earlier. There you go. So that's just, it's what it is people can go in the air and then leave their computer, and you need to click a button called cruise relief that says you're not there, but then that means your hours don't count. So if you are there, to make sure your hours do count, every 2 hours, so for the first 2 hours of the flight it won't do it, at 2 hours it will do it, and then after that it'll do it, I think, random intervals. I think it was random intervals, but I'm not sure how long the random intervals are. I'm just going to check the manual now. So it should be somewhere, if I can find it. Probably somewhere under this. Skytrack, here you go. 34 on the... So this should tell me. Here you go. And then after that it's randomised every 1 to 3 hours. So 1 to 3 hours. So I might get one. I might get another one before landing. Might. No, I won't. A half hour until landing. So that'll be the only one I get. But they're randomised between an hour and 3 hours. So it might be hour and 5, hour and 7, 2 hours and 23. Random. But my flight isn't long enough to get more than... Your flight needs to be at least 3 hours long to get 2 checks. And that's like at the very minimum, at the most, to guarantee that you get back, you need a 5-hour long flight. So 1 hour and 56 minutes into the flight, descending in 7 minutes. It's not long. I'll put down the altitude on this thing now to 10,000 feet. Normally I would have finished a morning stream now, but I'm still 50 miles off descent. Not long. Landing speed is now 132. It's gone down again. Interesting. Because I'm using all that fuel. So right now we have just under 9,000 pounds of fuel on board. So we've used just over half our fuel. I'm going to start putting down this, I am, to 80 nautical mile range. Because it is only 185 miles to go now, and the next metal would have been released. It's still 130 knots, so we're fine. And also with that Skytrack alert I got, I would have had 20 minutes to respond to it. That's noted. Yeah, interesting. This, in terms of the fuel flow, I think one of the engines has used more fuel than the other one by only a little bit. Can I view it? Probably not. Whoa, look at that. The quantity of hydraulic fluid in A is only 80%, and it's 99 in B. Is that supposed to happen? I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. Hopefully it is supposed to happen. Oh, there's a plane there. Is that the Thomas Cook? It is the Thomas Cook. It's going up to, what's its cruise altitude? 40,000 feet. That's like a really high cruise altitude. Thomas Cook A330. And it is proper dark now. So it's 95 nautical miles to the next waypoint, just 33 miles. So I can put that on the intercom. What's it? Yeah, Unicom. That's what it's called. Sending from flight level 370. On the using ILS 21. ETA is, and then our ETA is 11:33. No wait, it's 4 minutes, isn't it? Is it 4 minutes the gap between real light? Yeah, about 5 minutes. So 11. I'll say 11:40. So I've got a message ready to send out when we start descending in 20 miles. So we've had such a long flight and it's finally time to descend. There's no planes on the ground anymore. There's actually another Fly UK. Not sure where it's going. It's going to an airport. It's not recognised by Vatsim. And there is a flight to Gatwick though. It's just been pre-filed, so there might be something on the ground by the time I actually get to Rovaniemi. And there's no. I'll have a look at what gate I'm planning to use. So I'll have a look at the taxi charts. We're coming in on runway 21. So let's have a little look. So arriving on runway 21, and then we'll vacate off the terminals here. So let's go. This is the gates chart here. So we want land and then vacate on Hotel or Bravo or Charlie, any of them, and then gates 1 to 9 are like in the direction of the terminal, and then I can't see 10, 11 or 12. Not sure where they are. And then gates 13 to 15 are facing out the other way. They're like remote stands. So I think somewhere like gate number, anywhere between the 3, maybe gate 3 to 6. Gate 8 looks pretty good. It's straight. It's got a jet bridge. So I want that main terminal. I think I don't want the remote stands. But I'll see what's available when we get there. Maybe gate 9, so a little bit further out. It's on the edge. I'm not really sure. Any of those gates will do. So I'm not particularly bothered. Definitely getting darker now, isn't it? Right, how long did descent now? 5 miles. So it's basically back now. And we're descending with 2 hours and 2 minutes on the clock. So was that planned? Are we early? We are about 3 minutes early. Let's say 3 minutes. 3 minutes early, that's not bad. Is it 3? No, it's 4 minutes. No, it is 4 minutes. That's what the descent is about now. There you go, we've just hit it. With 139 miles left to run. We are descending. Throttle's gone all the way down pretty much to idle. It's getting colder, like it's minus 30 the total air temperature. It was minus 27, so now we're getting a bit more northern. Temperature currently in Rovaniemi is minus 1. So it is a little bit cold. Actually, I'll set the auto brakes now. I'll set them to 2. Should be enough, I think. So now we're descending. That's everything all good. We just need to wait until landing for the rest of it. Hello passengers, we are now descending into Rovaniemi. Flight time today so far has been 2 hours and 4 minutes, estimated 25 minutes until landing. And when we land, maybe we'll see Santa Claus out the window, you never know. Fingers crossed, eh, passengers? But when we land, all cheer for Santa Claus, ho ho ho, and we might get him. We might see him. So hopefully the passengers have listened to my message. We'll hope they have. I'll find out when we've landed. I was just trying something out there on Google Translate, didn't work, so yeah. I'm waiting till landing. See what happens. So here we are, approaching. And there is a plane now on the ground in Rovaniemi on its way to Gatwick. So it might very well clash with that plane when it's landing. I obviously did put the message. I'll just send the message again now that person's online. Hopefully they're on Unicom. I can't appear to copy something. Oh, there you go. Managed it. Just post it again to that person. If they are on Unicom, well, no, I'm there. There's a plane that's just ahead of me, and it's the one that's departing out of Rovaniemi. And we're just above we're quite close to the water. Look, there's the coast where it curves round, and Sweden becomes Finland. So we are almost in Finland, which is obviously our final destination for today. Say it's a 40 nautical miles. Do I need to set like I don't think I need to set the transponder to below. No, I don't. That's only on the Airbus. On the Boeing, it's automatic. Oh, that is the plane, I think. Or it's Christmas lights. Can't tell. It might have been Christmas lights. Maybe it was Christmas lights. Can I open it was Christmas lights? Because that's kind of nice. You never know. Nine playbacks the stream's had. Pretty good. That's 9 views. Probably the most I've had in a while. It's pretty average for a stream, which is nice. Nice that some people are watching. Christmas spirit, you know. I don't really know. Oh, the cereal table flipper has returned in time for Christmas landing. Cool. Oh, just turning. I don't know why we're turning. I'm positive the plane's turning slightly. Yeah, for the cereal table flipper who's just joined the stream. 95 nautical miles left to go until Rovaniemi. We've got 18 minutes is the plan. Not long. So yeah, just enjoying the flight. Currently it's 24,000 feet, descending down into Rovaniemi. You need to be at 10,000 or above at Nemgu. That's not for 40 miles yet, so not too bad. Check the landing speeds, they're all good. And in terms of fuel, we're on target. It's a bit weird because I've got the plane down here telling me I've got £7,900, and I've got the fuel thing here telling me I've got 8,100. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. But they're displaying two different measurements of fuel. Oops. Oh yeah, lagging. Also, for anyone watching, it's not dawn right now. It's actually dusk. It's quite funny. Oh, there's a plane up there. That's the Norwegian, I think. Lots of stars over there. Cool. This thing does descend pretty quickly though. How far now? 80 miles. Really not far. I'm looking forward to this. Landing, and we might see Santa on the ground. Maybe. Ooh, I wonder if we'll see Santa. Whenever we land, anyone in chat, please put Merry Christmas or Ho 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 or something like that. When we land. Have to do that. Otherwise Santa Claus isn't going to hear us, is he? Not going to see us land. He's going to be like, nah, I'm sticking to my warm milk and cookies back here in the North Pole. I'm not going to teleport. Yeah, he's modern Santa. He can teleport to Rovaniemi because apparently Lapland's his home. I mean, I always thought. I mean, it is the North Pole. Not really. It's not really Rovaniemi, but nah, that's what the Finnish tourist industry has decided. So, oh well. It means it's less miles for me to fly, and there's actually an airport. Because as far as I'm aware, the North Pole does not have any proper tarmac runways. So unless I'm flying a 737-200 equipped with a gravel kit, I wouldn't be landing anywhere. So, and obviously this is a Dash 800 and it obviously has no gravel kit, so not possible. We've been streaming all morning, it's quite nuts. 2 hours and 43 minutes into the stream right now. This will be the second longest stream we've ever done, compared to the US one we did back in, what was it, middle October, the Delta flight, when we went from, I've totally forgotten, it was Salt Lake City to Salt Lake City. It was Salt Lake City, Minneapolis, St. Louis, however you pronounce it. That's where it was. And in the area there is actually a Fly UK, look, 737-800, flying past that area currently. That's quite cool. $17,000 feet. Well, it's almost time to get those seatbelt signs turned on to stop those passengers from getting out their seats and running off the plane thinking we're already in Christmas land. We're not yet. There's no reindeer sleigh that's going to pick you up yet. I don't know, I kind of like doing this sort of Christmas. It's a bit of a joke stream, isn't it, almost? Like, a little bit Christmas themed stuff. It's cool. I know it's only the 14th of December. I mean, it's what? How long is it now? It's 1.5 weeks. I'd say that's well within the Christmas zone. 1.5 weeks. 11 days. 11 days is not long. Oh, the temperature is just going above zero. Look, the total air temperature. Look at it. Nice and dark. It's very dark. And we are in Finland right now. 15,000 feet. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. Make sure those people don't get out their seats too early. We don't want that. And we're approaching Nemgu, which is the 10,000 or above restriction, so I can put it down to 2,500, which is the ILS restriction. So this flight, 2 hours 15 minutes. We're looking on track for our arrival in 13 minutes time. 2 nautical miles to go to Nemgu, and then it's on to Rovaniemi. It's a little river. That's nice. Won't be able to see the airport yet, will I? 54 miles. No, probably not. Oh! Is that the Fly UK up there? I just saw light spawn. You can see aircraft really easily in this dark. I haven't got my light. Well, actually, why haven't I got my strobe lights on? It's a good point. I don't want the logo. I'll have the wing lights on. I don't see any wing lights. They're not flashy anyway. I'm not going to bother with the... But I'm going to put the strobes on as well. No, why not? Let's just go full on. Full on lights. This thing still doesn't look particularly lit up, but whatever. Despite the fact that they're on full, the lights. Oh, I see the airport on my little thing, and we are slowing down for the 10,000 feet, 250 knot restriction in, well, less than, how much? Well, less than 5 miles. Well, we are at 11,000, so I'd expect that. And we can do the first parts of our checks. Here you go, we're under 11,000, so that little speed restriction should activate. Put out the speed brakes to help. Landing light, oh yeah, put all the landing lights on now, and this plane should now be fully lit up. It still isn't particularly lit up, literally all the lights are turned on now. The runway turn off, so they're going to make it any brighter. We don't need the runway turn offs though, because we're not near the runway. Oh, get rid of the speed brakes now. And there is still a plane at Rovaniemi, so TFC ETA is 12 mins using ILS 21, which hopefully is still the right wind. It hasn't refreshed, so yeah, it is currently. And there is Rovaniemi. There it is. It's been a long flight, 2 hours 20 minutes, and there we are. There is the airport. Not far to go now. See the little wing lights skirting away there, flashing. And it is basically dark, because right now in Rovaniemi the sun will be setting in 5 minutes. So, not long. What's kind of funny is when I set off, Rovaniemi had only just... The sun had only just rose, and now when I'm landing the sun is only just setting. And it's only a 2.5 hour flight. Nuts. I've never flown somewhere like that. Actually, this is a bit bright almost. It looks really dusty. Not that, it's... Why not just the brightness of this other one? I guess not. Turn on the main panel lights. Now we're landing. Not far to go. The decel point shouldn't be very far away now. I seriously don't understand why this is so dusty though. It really shouldn't be this dusty. The screen, I don't know. That's just weird. how low we are now. The light's flashing away. Below 7,000 feet. We are pretty close to our destination. The decel point isn't quite within reach yet. Landing speed is 131 knots. It's a pretty low landing speed, which is why, you know, auto brake 2 should be suitable. So we're swirling around. Let's activate the ILS frequency now. 117 at 206, 117 at 206. Yeah, it's all correct. Good. There's 6,000 feet. Transition altitude is actually 5,000 feet, as I discovered. I think we're going for about gate 9, maybe. I think I prefer a remote stand, but one that's facing the terminal. So gate 9, gate 1 or 2, or possibly gates 13 to 15. Don't really mind. And that's from 2018, so it's only a year old, so the procedures must just not have updated then. They must not have been updated, like needed to have been updated. And now it's dark, you can actually see the lights on our plane. There's the runway lights. They look like Christmas lights. It's Santa Claus showing us that he's there. And they're totally not there all the times of year. It's not like airports have to have runway lights or anything. It's just specially for our plane. Yeah, I'm making this up. It's a sign from Santa Claus, that's great. Oh, there you go. There it is. The transition altitude. And the latest METAR is actually back in the favour of runway 21 by another knot. So, by another direction. By 10 degrees, basically. And here we are, turning, ready to land in at Rovaniemi Airport after 2 hours and 25 minutes in the air. Not long to go now. Game, don't crash on me now. Yeah. Like the world's steepest bank on the way into an airport, like seriously. Looks beautiful, this plane. So I might have to use these as my computer wallpaper, some of these. Right, put the range down to just 5 miles. We've hit the decel point, so this aircraft is slowing down. So the first stage of flaps down to flaps. So start slowing down the plane now. And that's it, not long now. We're pretty much on final. Drop the gear. There's 2500. There you go, screen. I'm probably going to use that screenshot as my wallpaper. I like it. And the autopilot comes out. I have control of the aircraft. Let's land this thing. The minimums warning is going as usual, and for some reason I can't turn it off. Seriously, be quiet. Minimums warning. Thank you. It drives me nuts about. That's one thing I don't like about this aircraft sometimes is that minimums warning. It's a bit odd. We're a little bit high, so I'll just bring the plane down. Yeah, I can see all the instruments now. I can see that dot there, that's the Norwegian that's on the ground, so we're not going to have any problems with that. We are a little bit off, aren't we? We're not quite on the centre, unfortunately. Here we are on final approaching. We're trying to get back to the glide path, and we seem to be doing it.
1,000.
There's 1,000, and we are in line with the runway. But yeah, I'm happy with that. We're basically online. It's so funny, like, the weather is like covered in trees and it's not really snowing, and then as soon as you reach Rovaniemi airport it's just pure snow. I think that Norwegian's pushing back at the moment.
Approaching minimums.
Approaching minimums. There's another minimums warning.
Minimums.
Minimums. That should turn off the alarm, it does.
$100.
100.
50. 30. 20. 10.
A little bit of a mess, maybe. Possibly. Almost certainly, I don't really know. Is that a crossing runway or is that another taxiway? It's a crossing runway, so we'll wait. And we're on the ground. Stop the clock. 2 hours and 29 minutes. Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to Rovaniemi. Lovely. Okay. Oh, so that Norwegian on the ground there is sort of in the way. I'm going for gate 9. In fact, I have to use gate 9. It has a jet bridge and all that. Right, that plane there. What's its call sign? It's IVK 2969.
Rovaniemi traffic, Northtrans 2969, taxi to holding point runway 21.
So I'm going to hold here. Until he's gone. And there we are, we're on the ground. Hello and welcome people to Rovaniemi. Flight time today was 2.5 hours. We hope here at Fly 2 you had a lovely flight and you enjoy your holiday meeting Santa Claus and making Christmas cookies. There you go, end of. So, Right. Taxiing in this gate here. There you go. And here we are. Hello everybody and welcome to Rovaniemi on the stream. Merry Christmas everybody. Don't know why I said it like that. And look who's here to marshal us in. It's Santa Claus himself. So I didn't hear any of the passengers shouting, but they must have shouted out loud enough because guess who it is? It's Santa Claus. See, look at him marshalling us in there. He's like professional. A professional Santa Claus. Hopefully he gives us good marshalling instructions. Look at him, he's very happy with our parking, look. Look how joyful he looks. Parked a bit too far. Santa. So he's disappeared now. Yeah, okay. We parked pretty good. I'm pleased with that parking. Hello and welcome everybody to Rovaniemi. I've said that 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it again. Right. Deboarding. I mean, may have lost a bit of power from the plane then, because I didn't remember to operate the jetway. I can't. There literally is no jetway at this gate. I don't know why the game thinks there is, because there honestly isn't one. Right, my first job. Open the doors and ground connections. We want chocks and ground power so that we can get that on, APU off, packs and all that off. Full pumps off, lights off. All the window heats and the probe heats, pitot heats, whatever we want to call them. And finally the seatbelt signs can come off. Turn off the flight directors and all that. This can go back up to 6,000, ready for the next flight.
Thank you.
Turn off the lights.
Wonderful flight.
And that is it. That is us in Rovaniemi. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the Skytrack recording. 1,074 miles was flown in the end. Pretty nuts. Disconnect from Vatsim.
Great job, gentlemen.
And here we are in Rovaniemi. I'm not going to bother doing a full cold and dark. There's no point. Oh yeah, I won't see that. I was like, hang on, is that Norwegian taken off yet? Obviously not. Well, obviously it might have, but I've disconnected from Vatsim now, so it's totally irrelevant. There we go. Everything on this plane is all turned off.
Hello, thank you.
Well, all the stuff that should be turned off is turned off. And that is it. So, Santa was even there to welcome us in. Look at him there, nice and happy. He's around the whole airport now, look. He's up on the building. Look at him. Happy little Santa. He's up there on the building, waving at us. He's waving at us, he is. Hi, Santa. And that is it. So with Santa, so from me and from Santa, bye-bye for now. See you in the next stream. Bye-bye.